14. Yeah, that's one. December 9, 2004, that's when I did it. So this is what? This is 2016? 12 years it has been sitting idle. This is how these publishers are. Okay, Prathamadhyaya Chaturtha Padaha Akhadaradi ka Sangya. Remember? Parjanyaval Lakshanani Bhavanti. So they have to be constrained. All the Sangya Sutras, their applications have to be constrained. So from this point on, Akhadarad, Kadar, Sanshabdanad Purvam, as far as the word is, as far as when you hear the word Kadara, you will hear that in 2.3.38, Kadara Karmadharaye. So before that, you should assign only one term to one name to a single name bearer. Here is another word, difficult to find the equivalent. Sangin. Sangya is the name. Sangin, remember, you can safely use a name bearer, that to which a name is assigned, as that who carries a name. Kadara karmadhara iti vakshadiyaya tasmat sutravavadher yaditam urdhvam anukramishyamah tatra eka sangya bhavati iti veditam bhavyam. Then what is that? Paraya anavakashacha. Then he is going to the next rule. What happens if I find a... Oh, first let me give you one sense out of this rule. Akadarad eka sangya. That means outside this section, which you can name akadariya, that which has its limit determined by Kadara. So this Akadariya section is called Ekasangya. It's a restrictive provision Pāṇini makes. Against what? Against Sangya Samavesha. So you must remember Eka Sangya as against Sangya Samavesha. What is Sangya Samavesha? Class inclusion. Class inclusion. So you assign the word samasa to a compound, the name bearer, right? But you also assign the term tatpurusha, you can also assign the term tatpurusha to that samasa. So tatpurusha samasa. You can also, yes. So one definition can include a larger class, can include some smaller classes too. This is what class inclusion of names means. And Akadarat Eka Sangya, by restricting it to one, it is saying that, hey, look, up to 2.3.31, from 1.4.1 to 2.3.31, you can only assign one term. Beyond that, by inference, you can say that in Pāṇini's grammar, except for this section Akadariya, two names can be used to a name bearer. Three names can be used to a name bearer. Yes. So, this section, no way. So then go to the next rule, which is Vipratihedhe Param Karyam. It's my favorite. I have written 3 papers. And S.D. Joshi has written all kinds of things, with all due respect to S.D. Joshi. I disagreed with him. So anyway, Vipratihedhe Param Karyam means under the situation of vipratishedha, you should apply only that name which is subsequent in order of listing. So, in order in the Ashtadhyayi. So you have, what is vipratishedha? Tulya bala virodha. So see here Kashika says, Tulya bala virodha vipratishedha. The word vipratishedha is explained as Tulya bala virodha, conflict among rules of equal strength. How do you determine the strength of equal strength of rules? A context where two rules formulated for purposes of application elsewhere become simultaneously applicable to a single context is called conflict among rules of equal strength. Two rules, they both apply in a single context. But before you determine the conflict between those rules, you must find out that those two rules individually have their application scope elsewhere. If a rule does not have any scope of application outside that context, you cannot compare that with another rule which may have the context of application. So now, if a rule finds the scope of its application in a context, that rule is considered savakasha, with scope of application. And if a rule does not find the scope of its application in a particular context, is called anavakasha. So these are considerations about application of rules savakasha, anavakasha. So a context where two rules formulated for purposes of application elsewhere become simultaneously applicable to a single context is called conflict among rules of equal strength. When two rules become applicable to a single context, what are your choices? You can't apply them all at the same time. Okay? So, what can you do? You can apply them one after the other. Yeah, so you can say by paryaya, one after the other. But no, if they both apply, you don't have any right to prefer one over the other, and you cannot apply them simultaneously all at the same time. Then what do? You block one. Okay, so which one you block? Yes, that which follows in order of listing, that is the one which should be preferred. Become simultaneously applicable. I have a long explanation on this rule. Vriksheshu, plaksheshu, those are the examples. Vrikshabhyam, plakshabhyam. Consider 73102 Supicha, read with 73101 Atodirghoyai, which has its independent scope of application in Vrikshabhyam, that is Vrikshabhyam, Plakshabhyam, plakshabhyam. Now consider 73103 Bahuvachane Jhalyet, which has its independent scope of application in Vrikshasu, Vrikshasu, Plakshasu, Plakshasu. But both 73102 Supicha and 73103 Bahuvachane Jhalyet becomes available to concurrent application in Vrikshabhyas. They both apply in Vrikshabhyas, Vrikshebhya and Plakshabhyas, Plakshebhya. Rule 73103 Bahuvachane Jhalyet since it is subsequent in the order of enumeration, applies to accomplish a replacement in a etwa based on conflict of equal strength. And then Rama Nath Sharma writes a big note on this one, which you have to read. This is part of what I read at Stanford at the Pāṇini conference, where Joshi was there. Okay. Then you have Vami, Purvena Nitya Pratishedhe Prapte Ami Vikalpa Kriyate. So, a rule which is given some general provision of application, it can be made optional, it can also be negated in a particular context. So, this is the Nishedha rule. So, what we try to accomplish is Akadara Deka Sangya says that in this section up to Kadara, in this section of rules up to Kadara, all definitions which are assigned, they can only be assigned to a single name bearer. Don't allow class inclusion. Don't allow application of two names, for example, to a single entity. Okay? Elsewhere, this is important to remember, that elsewhere in the Ashtadhyayi, you will allow Sangya Samavesha. Like Samasa, Karaka. A Karaka can be termed, Sampadana, Apadana, Sambandha, Adhikarana. A single entity can be assigned both the names Karaka and Adhikarana. Yeah, this is Sangya Samavesha. So you end up assigning two names too. Okay, let's see. Hraswam Laghu Samyoge Guru. A Hraswa is called Laghu. Before a Sanjuga, it is called Guru. So these are the two sangyas which can be assigned to a single Hraswa. See this? A short vowel is called Laghu, but that short vowel, if it occurs before a consonant cluster, that should be called Guru. So, that's why we call that a short vowel of duration of one mora was assigned the term Hraswa. That same short vowel is hereby assigned the term Laghu. A short is termed Laghu. Consider the E of Bhid in Bhetta, that E in Chid in Chetta, the A of Kar and Her in Achikarata, he had it done, etc., etc., etc. These are examples. You have to go and read this whole thing, then. Okay. Then there are two definitions which are very important. Suptingantam padam, that a word form which ends in affixes denoted by the abbreviation symbol sup or the abbreviation symbol ting. That is called pada. And then what is sup and what is ting? You found out about ting by going to the Tipta Jisipta Sa, etc. in 3478. Tipta Jisipta Sa Mibasmas. Similarly, sup, Sovjas Mautas Chasta Bhyam Bisge Bhyam Bhyasagasi Bhyam is 412. Then there are questions which here you see a question raised against using the word anta end in the formulation of this rule. This is a very complex argument. I won't go there. Nahke, this is a nishedha of the assignment of the term pada, siticha, swadishu or sarvanamasthane. Okay, I'm moving a little bit faster because this is a very potent section of rules in the Ashtadhyayi, and as you find out, there is one big concept, Vipratishdha. Then you go and then you get what we have, Karake. That's a very, 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 very big concept. Okay, Karake. And look at my translation. When that a karaka, participant in action, which is doing. So action is the central meaning of a Sanskrit sentence, and those actions are carried to fulfillment by certain entities which we name participants in action, and those participants in action, they are named karaka, that which is doing. And the first definition is, first karaka is dhruvam apaye apadanam. Apaye gamya mane yad dhruvam karakam tad apadana sangyam bhavati. This is the vritti of the dhruva apaya apadana, that a karaka, which is dhruva, fixed reference. When apaya, movement away from, is denoted, is assigned the term apadana. What do you understand from dhruva? Dhruva doesn't mean unmoving, etc., in the general popular term of fixed. Okay. Otherwise, you will have problem. Dhautu ashwat patati. He is falling off the running horse. The horse is running. He is also moving on the horse. But at a particular time when he is falling or when he fell, that point was fixed as far as the apaya is concerned. What does the word apaya mean? Movement away from. That is the meaning of apadana. Apadana is a perception, apadana is a karaka which is assigned in the context of movement away from. So, dhavato ashvat patati, vrikshat Pāṇini patanti. So, a vriksha is the fixed point from whence there is movement away of Pāṇa. The word dhruva, fixed, refers to that which is connected with the action. Okay, Bhitrarthanam bhayetu. So there is one thing that you must notice. What he does, he gives you a generalized definition of the participant or a karaka at the beginning. So here, when he introduces the term apadana, then he makes the adjustments in the definition of karaka. So all the definitions, adjustments are mentioned with reference to particular verbs. Okay. विभेति अर्थानाम त्रायति अर्थानाम च धातूनाम प्रयोगे भय हेतु यस्तत् कारकम अपादान संज्ञा भवति. In the context of the usage of the dhatus which carry the meaning of bhi, that is trayati, protect. So there the source of fear is called apadana. Where do you find the use of apadana in Sanskrit? Where do you use panchami in the with the meaning of apadana? Or you have to. Where do you use panchami? Apadana. Okay, but for the others, where else you use? Source of fear is also used in the panchami. What? Yeah.
Moving away from this.
Yeah, see, that's where, East doesn't meet West when it comes to the use of karaka. See, in the West, people say there is ablative case. Apaya, denoting apaya, that might be an ablative case, but you can't call a case ending as ablative. No, because there is no one-to-one correspondence between the expression of a certain karaka by a certain vibhakti and the karaka itself. It's not necessary that an apadana should always be expressed with. Okay, that's why he using the vibheti arthanam, tayati arthanam, dhatunam prayoge yat karakam tat apadan sangyam bhavati. So when you have the use of the verb root bhi, vibheti, or tra, protects, then you must use the source of fear, Bhaya Hetu, in the Panchami. Alright, so in the Karaka, you have to remember, I'll wrap it up when we come back. The Karaka is a very important section, and it has got very important points to understand. How the Karakas are assigned the name Karakas, and then how their meaning is expressed. So there are two levels of derivation in Pāṇini. When you look at the derivation of Sanskrit words, there has to be two levels. The one level is naming. There is one level at which you name certain entities karakas. Another level will be the lexicalization of that karaka, the expression of that karaka. So those are the two levels, naming and expressing. In that book, I have clearly marked those two levels in the derivation. It should not be difficult for you to understand.